Hi everyone, my name is Mark Deere, and in today's video I thought I'd talk about all the students I've had before. I have been a teacher for 10 years. I've told you, if you've seen any of my videos, that I've been on long service leave now for quite a while. It's been a couple of months, and yeah, after 10 years of teaching, it's been interesting having a break and getting to reflect on everything. And today, just a minute ago, I made a video for my current seniors. They just graduated, that I've had teaching them film for the last couple of years. And, I was just reflecting on their movies, and it got me thinking about everybody else. Like, I've had thousands and thousands of students, or definitely over 1,000 students in the last 10 years. It's probably more like 2,000 students in the last 10 years. And yeah, getting to teach self-expression and film and media specifically, I just feel so lucky. It's like the best job. I mean, poor people who have to teach math or English or whatever other teachers teach. But getting to, teach students how to express themselves, how to, tell a story, create meaning, how that's important. Like opening up. I think back to when I was a kid, and it's like I never really realised. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a cartoonist because I don't think I realised that. I think I'd been to sessions and stuff where I saw people who drew cartoons for a newspaper, and yeah, it didn't click for me that like the cartoons I was watching on TV, which is what I really wanted to make, animated shows on TV, those shows were like written by somebody. Like there was a person who wrote, the episode, and there was a person who directed that episode and drew the episode. Like I never made that connection when I was a kid. It was only as an adult, I guess, that I really stopped and think, somebody had to write that. Somebody had to, that's somebody's job. We can do that for a job, So I think getting to like show younger students this when they're young, I mean, it's amazing. And I always say to students who I've taught, like, you're not here to learn how to go work in Hollywood. Like, if you want to do that, go ahead. And I've had students go on and work in film stuff, but that's not what it's about. It's about self-expression. And like I said in my last video, about working together, and well, 2 videos back, and my last video, about building relationships, learning how to work in a team, all the soft skills you get from working in filmmaking. Like, I used to always use this example to convince parents why they should put their kid in film, as opposed to chemistry or whatever. And I would always say it's like you look at the Google list of skills, they put out the skills they need people to have. And engineering is like way down in like the 70s or 80s. It doesn't matter if you're a good programmer or not. What they want is people who can work in a team, people who can deliver to a deadline, people who are good communicators, people who can see a goal from beginning through to end. Like these are the top skills, are all the skills, the soft skills that you learn as a filmmaker. Like you learn how to convince people to do what you need them to do. You take a project from start to finish. You deliver to a deadline. You have to express yourself. You have to communicate clearly. Like clarity is important. All these skills that you learn, and I mean that's kind of what I always try to focus on because I think, look, it's a gift being able to tell a story. There's something primal about it. It's something. It's part of human nature. And the reason I love film more even than theatre or any other form of media art is that film I think is the closest you can get to dreams. And dreams, nobody wants to hear about your dreams, but dreams are where it's at, So seeing a cohesive dream on the screen, it's just, there's something primal about it and it's an amazing experience. And so being able to give the gift of how to make that, not just to consume it, how to make that, I just feel so lucky. I feel like it was a great job. It's been a great job for 10 years. I spent 11 years of my life working in film, learning how to do it. Spent 10 years of my life showing others how to do it. And, I don't know, the system kind of gets in the way a bit. I think that's why I'm definitely second guessing whether I should continue teaching after now. I've had this leave, which is a gift that you get that as well. I feel very, very lucky that in this career you get given a break, But whether or not I go back or what I go back to, I don't actually know yet. But I think I'll always keep teaching in some capacity. I really do love showing people who didn't already know how to do it, how to express themselves. I think there's just something amazing about that. And, having a beautiful mountain view, it's like, it just feels like the possibilities are unlimited, when you want to create. And yeah, I think not knowing is not great. Oh, am I about to get run over? Cars coming to park here. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to say. All my students I've had in the past have been great. I feel very lucky that I've had those students. And yeah, any students I ever get in the future, I'm sure I'll be happy to have as well. I think it's a real privilege being able to have people want to learn the thing that you're teaching. That's the other good thing about, I guess, the subject that I was teaching, media and film and television, is that, people choose it. It's an elective. You don't have a choice about math. You don't have a choice about English, but you get to choose if you do film. And so the people who are choosing to do it, a lot of them are like, I don't even know what this is. Or like, it sounds like it could be fun. And they're always right, And I think that's my favorite thing is like most students who leave say that was the best subject or that was the class I look forward to the most or, I really learned something and I don't know, that makes me feel good. And I think I'm reflecting on it today because you always reflect on the day when the students graduate. So thinking back over all the last 10 years of graduations that I've been to and you feel proud of the students and you know they're going on to a future of whatever, but at least when they see a film, they'll have a better understanding of that film. When they're going through hard times rather than, becoming alcoholics or, other bad things like having negative ways of getting out the feelings and emotions, they have a positive way to express themselves, a positive way, which can then help others learn those lessons. It's the perfect way to teach a lesson film. Look at me, I'm just selling film now. Maybe I'll finish on this. One of my teachers, well, not my teachers, because I went to university I got to do film as an elective, and then I did a master's degree in film. So I've worked with a lot of, storytellers and people who've made films. But in 2011, Candice, my wife, and I, we got paid for a year of development in a script. We got to work with someone named Jock Blair. I don't know if you'll know who that is, but you can look him up. He's a really pivotal figure in the Australian film industry. He's a producer. He worked on The Sullivans and a bunch of shows, super famous. Jock Blair, he's the greatest, and he's directly influenced a lot of what's come on TV just through his producer's hand over the years. And he passed away a few years ago now, but I was really lucky because I got to work with him for 18 months, like 12 months and then 6 months after that. And, it was just one of the greatest things in my life, getting to work with Jock Blair. He really, really impacted me as a human, not just as a writer. And I think he was kind of a writer first, like he was a writer, producer, And I got to go, I was really lucky that I got to go to it, but because we just worked with him for a year, we got, invited to go. And we went to his retirement dinner. I think he was in his 70s when he retired. But we went to his retirement dinner and got to just sit at a table and enjoy what happened and say thanks to him. But he got up to he gave like a speech, to finish off the night. Like a lot of people said things about him, and then he got up at the end. And he was obviously very emotional because after having a 60-year career, or 50-year career, whatever it had been, a long time, he was really emotional. And he said, the thing that always stuck with me was this. He got up and basically his entire speech was, thanks everyone, but just the most important thing is story. Story is everything. Story helps you figure out life lessons. Story helps you get through, learn how to tell better stories. Keep telling stories. Make sure that story is in your life because that's what will get you through. Stories are what will help you understand what it means to be a human. And he's so emotional talking about it, but he just kept teaching. He lived to teach and create. He was producing. He was helping writers develop their scripts as well, working through Screen Queensland, the funding body in Australia, or in Queensland, I should say, which is a state in Australia. And yeah, I just think it was amazing. Even to the bitter end, he was still telling everyone, story is the most important thing. And I just think, yeah, if I never get to teach another film class, all the film students, the thousands of film students that I've had over the years, I hope that they've learned from me that story is important and their stories matter. And the ability to tell a story, the ability to express yourself is a gift, and it's something that you don't have to do it professionally for a job, but if you're going through hard times, just writing something or just making something small, it can help make those times easier. If you want to have clarity around something that happened in your past, write about it, turn it into a story. If you're trying to figure something out, I'm trying to figure out this stuff by doing this documentary. I've never done a feature documentary. I've always done narrative films, but I'm learning there's just as much to learn through the storytelling of a documentary as there is through the storytelling of a narrative film. Anyway, I'm talking a lot. And this is anyone of the thousands of people who I've taught who is watching this video would be like, there he goes again, going off on tangents. But it always comes back to story. And yeah, I have so many, hundreds and hundreds of stories of the students I've had and the films they've made and the things they've said. And, it's a real gift. It's a real gift having been able to, have an impact on that many people's lives. And I don't think I'll ever stop. Like I said, I think I'll be teaching forever, even if I'm not a teacher forever, And in the 11 years I worked in media work, I had interns and, you're always helping someone learn. So I think the more you do, the more you want to teach, if that makes sense. They always say those who can't do teach, but I just feel like I got to a point where I wasn't getting as much out of production anymore because I wanted to share what I knew, you get to a certain level and you just feel a kind of duty of care to help others learn, a moral obligation to help others learn. And I think I'll be doing that for a long time yet. But anyway, there's my reflections for the day. I hope that you're having a great day and maybe I got you to reflect on being a student. This is a pretty long video, so probably time for me to get out of here, but it's a lovely view. Beautiful sun. So I had to wear my sunglasses because it was so it's so glary today. I would have been squinting the whole time. So anyway, if this is the first video on mine that you've seen, I'm working on a documentary at the moment. Just watch any of my other videos. I'm making 100 videos in 100 days. I think this is video number 52, so I've got another 48 videos to go until the end of this year, December 31st, 2025. So subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love for you to comment. What's it like being a student? If you're a film student, did your teacher help you? If I was your teacher, how was it? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm just rambling now because I'm in my head and reminiscing. So I hope you have a great day. Awesome talking to you today. It's a lovely breeze and it's very hot under the sun. So I'm going to go home and, yeah, have a good chill out. I'll see you guys in the next video.